students that they have studied for 3 hours the night before for a test and still do not do well on the exam. Studies show that we remember only the first 15 minutes and last 15 minutes of what we study. If this blue bowl represents a 3-hour study block, you will remember only the first 15 minutes and last 15 minutes of what you've studied, which means 2.5 wasted hours. Therefore, a 3-hour study block is a waste of 2.5 hours. Be more efficient in your study. Put together 3 30-minute study blocks. In a 30-minute study block, you are more likely to remember everything, seeing as 15 minutes at the beginning and 15 minutes at the end are all that you're studying. You will remember the whole 30 minutes. The key is to put 15-minute breaks between each 30-minute study block. A 15-minute break allows your brain to reboot. The problem is if you are not disciplined, your breaks will go too long and you may not get back to your study. 30 minutes should be the maximum any of these breaks take. You use 2 hours of time and remember 90 minutes worth of material versus a 3-hour study time where you only remembered 30 minutes of material. Changing subjects is another way to allow the brain to reboot. Put together 3 30-minute study sessions, 30 minutes of the subject you're studying for the exam, 30 minutes of a subject you have to do for homework, and 30 minutes again for the subject you're studying. You will remember 60 minutes of that material. You use 1.5 hours of study time here. Remember 60 minutes worth of material versus a 3-hour study block where you only remembered 30 minutes. Let's work smarter, not harder. Here's a possible plan for that 30-minute study session. The first 5 minutes is what is called a brain dump. On a blank sheet of paper, write down everything you can possibly remember about the subject you're studying. Everything the teacher said, everything you've read, everything you've heard, every PowerPoint, every smartboard presentation, however that material was provided for you, dump it out of your mind. Take the whole 5 minutes, reach down deep, and try to remember everything. Phrases, words, dates, names, times, places, whatever comes to mind, formulas in math, dump it all out on that white sheet of paper. It doesn't have to have any sense of organization, just get all the topic out onto that blank sheet of paper. Spend the next 20 minutes correlating and organizing that information. Start to make connections. Each term you've written down, each formula, each name, each date, look for it in the text, look for it in your notes, look for it in the PowerPoints, the smartboard presentations, and try to see what the teacher said, where it came from, how did that information get in your brain, how is it related to the subject at hand. Take 3 minutes to then review all that information that you've just organized. Make sure to go over each point, but do not spend more than 3 minutes at this. Then do a 2-minute mind dump again. Again on a blank sheet of paper, write down everything you can remember for what you just reviewed. Now this time it will be more organized because you've started to make the connections, you've started to correlate the material to the importance of the subject. You've started to focus on the things that the teacher focused on. You'd be surprised how much your brain remembers.